Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gondorian Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another 3rd Age Reforged on my multiplayer battle replay. However, this one is very special because it is actually a match of the new game mode Conquest that was created by the Reforged developer team to kind of spice up Reforged a little bit. And I think that is very cool because since that latest patch, of course, nothing really new has been added. So it's always cool to see this game, or this mod rather, constantly being worked on. And they do work on this very, very hard, so I do hope you guys do appreciate that. This one was sent to me by Mech J Monster, who of course is both a Reforged developer as well as a very excellent Reforged YouTuber. So big thank you to him for sending this replay to me. The link to his channel will be down below, and I'm sure you guys already know who he is. Also, I should mention that both on his channel and on the official Reforged YouTube channel, there is a Conquest rules video, so just everything you need to know about Conquest. There is a video on both of those channels. The link to that will also be in the description below. So I would definitely recommend watching that video before watching this if you do not know how Conquest really works. I will attempt to explain the rules of Conquest, but I'm not super great at that sort of thing. But don't worry, I will try to do my best. So without any further ado, I guess I could go ahead and go into the rules of Conquest by going over here first. So this is going to be the checkpoint for Team 1. I will just call J Monster's team Team 1 because he sent it to me. So Team 1's checkpoint is right here. There is also a checkpoint for Team 2 all the way over here. And the rules for checkpoints basically just, well, they work like a checkpoint really. You have to, the team that it belongs to has to defend it, and the team that it does not belong to is trying to take it, basically. And if you do take it, if you kill all of the defending forces inside or around it, then you begin a 2-minute timer. And at the end of that 2-minute timer, if no one has attacked you anymore, like if you're just by yourself in here for 2 minutes with at least 1 unit, of course, then you do actually take that checkpoint. And depending on the map, there may be 1 or more checkpoints, but on this map there is actually only 1 checkpoint per team. So if you take the checkpoint on this map, then your team actually does win. However, say you are taking the checkpoint with a couple units, and then out of nowhere one random guy, like Sauron's Will or something, runs in here and like smacks one of your dudes before getting killed. Even if the timer was at like 1 second left and he just ran in there, and even if he ran in there and just instantly died, even as long as he got in there, it will actually reset the timer back to 2 minutes. So you have to be careful of any more reinforcements coming in this way. And also, of course, the 2-minute timer does allow for the defenders to bring more reinforcements over here and try to retake it, of course. Also, the other way to win is just by simply eliminating all of the enemy forces. And besides that, the rules are that you have to have the unit size set to small, and you cannot have above 800 men per army, which actually adds really interesting features because it makes armies, or well, factions like orcs who mainly focus around numbers, rather tricky to play. Mainly when people will play as evil factions in this game, they will tend to go very elite or troll heavy, which makes things very, very interesting, and that is for sure. Also, besides that, there's no artillery allowed because it is on small. The artillery tends to be extremely overpowered most of the time, so that is why there is no artillery allowed either. And also, for the checkpoint rule, you have to have 3 units brought by the checkpoint to begin with, if you are the person that deploys there. Also, your 2 other team members, because it works best on 3v3 or 4v4. Your other team members also have to send 3 units over to your checkpoint to defend it. At least for the beginning, you can just kind of send them over there and then run them back. It's just kind of a certain specific rule that you have to send 3 units over here just for a little bit, and then you can send them back wherever you want. I guess that would maybe be kind of to prevent rushing with your whole army right away. So you will see these 3 units, of course, go over there from Mirkwood because his deployment line is like right about here. I think J Monster sends over some cavalry as well as a couple units of archers. But anyway, that pretty much just about does it for the rules. Again, I'm sorry I probably explained it rather badly, but it will make more sense as the battle actually does go on, of course. So without any further ado, we can go ahead and go into the army comps, beginning with J Monster over here, who is going to be playing as the Realm of Imladris. So he has got 2 units of the Eldar Quinga as well as 2 units of the Nortian Warriors, all with their stakes deployed right here at the bottom of this hill here to prevent any enemy cavalry from rushing through. However, you will see these stakes actually be very important in a couple of ways actually later in the battle, but of course I won't spoil anything. Behind his archers, he's got 3 units of the Imladris Guardians with their upgrades, so they did cost 950 florins each, but they are of course very, very good and very heavily armored as well. Over here, He also has 2 units of the Imladris Blade Masters, who are a pretty decent shock infantry unit with high skill values. He also has 2 units of the Imladris Sentinels, as well as 1 unit of the Gwaith I Rokdor. And even though these knights only have 15 men in the unit, because all of the other units have so few men as well, cavalry, particularly knights and other 2 HP lancers, are extremely effective and super deadly, and you have to be extremely careful when dealing with them. In addition to this, I think his only 2 remaining units are going to be these guys over here. That is 2 units of the Elder Enway Herukwinga, previously known as the Elder Enway Archers. These guys actually do cap out at 1, but he did decide to bring a second one for 1800 florins. That'll pretty much do it for his army. So you can see the first half of the series RT's Realm of Mirkwood army. He's got 1 unit of the Ire Argway Nanwaith for his general. He's got 1 unit of the Hiri Pang over here. He's got 2 total, but 1's elsewhere. He's got 3 total units of Thurn E Tower. He's also got 1 unit of the IR Brannon E Nanwaith. Not quite to Knight standard, but still a very good 2 HP anti-cavalry unit. He's also got 2 units of Hiriek. 1 is here, 1 is elsewhere. And I think he also has a lot of units over here. This being, yes, 3 units of cavalry. He's got 1 unit of the Roakbin Amonlank and 2 units of the Dangnirim Yerk E Aaron. I'm probably not going to say that again. They're just horse archers, really, with pretty low armor, so you do have to be careful about them getting skirmished down. The rest of his army is over here, I want to say, but it's pretty much just the same as the other side. He's got more, okay, yeah, it's over here. He's got more Thurny Tower, he's got more, oh, he's actually got the Rangers over here. He's also got 1 of the Eradirith Amonlank, those of course being the archers that pull out 2-handed axes once they're out of ammo or they go into melee. Here's his second unit of Hiri Peng as well as his second unit of Hiri Ek. And then he also has this unit right here, the Ire Arthalion Enan with Legolas as the officer. These guys actually have 22 skill, which is really insane, so these guys are absolute beasts in melee. That'll pretty much do it for his army comp, so we can now go to their Team 1's final player, which is going to be Ramirus / Fluffy Duck, who's going to be coming in Cardlin. He's got a couple units of the Miniscarithlin Swordsman. He's got 2 units of the cheap pikes that are the Grunmach Garrison Footmen. He's also got 1 of the elite pikes that are the Wardens of Turn Gorthad, who also inspire courage into their friendlies around them. And then the rest of his army is actually quite hidden, but he's got, yeah, there's his second unit of Miniscarithlin Swordsman. But he's also got 2 units of Miniscarithlin Sharpshooters. He's got 2 units of Miniscarithlin Standard Archers. And then he's also got a lot of cavalry. He's got 2 units of Merchants, the the melee cav rather. He's also got 1 unit of Tharbad Riders, which are Lancers. He's also got 1 unit of the Royal Court of House Barondor. And then over here he's got his elites. He's got 1 unit of the upgraded Dunedain Captains, 1 unit of the Hearthguard of Amansul for his general, and 1 unit of the Minotaur Roman Guardians. But that'll pretty much do it for the army comps for this team. So we'll go over here to Team 2, who is going to be playing as entirely Linden. And unfortunately, most of their armies are hidden, so I won't be able to go greatly into their army comps quite yet, but we will see them, of course, as the battle progresses. So the first of the Linden armies is going to be commanded by XXX. He's got some Mithlond nobles here on the hill, as well as horse archers, I think, down here. Yes, he has some of the Wardens of Harlandon over here on this side as well. His entire army is actually deployed up here on this cliff, so J-Monster is not going to face him. He's instead going to go, or J-Monster is instead going to stay down here, which I think is a pretty good move. However, unfortunately for him, if he decides to kind of push up any at all, he's going to find himself under some pretty heavy skirmish fire, I think, from XXX's archers up on this hill here. However, that is kind of beside the point. Because we can't really see much of XXX's army besides these 3 units back here, which he has to have by the fortress there, or the checkpoint rather. He has 1 unit of the Harlandon Infantry, 1 unit of the Noldoran Guard, and he also has 1 unit of the Forlandon Scouts around here. Those guys can hide anywhere, they're just a cheap Lancer cav. And over here, you can see that Lord of Belgast has a unit of Noldoran Horse Lords for his general back here, but most of his army is actually where we can see it. He's got 3 units of the Mithlond Swordmasters, low on armor but high on skill and attack value, so as long as he stays away from arrows, these guys should do quite good. He's actually got a lot of javelins. He's got 2 units of Mithlond Marines as well as 2 units of Forlandon Marines over on that end. He's got 1 unit of the Mithlond Pikemen on either end, as well as 1 unit of Noldoran Guard on either end. And then in front here, he's got a bunch of archers, that being 2 units of Forlandon Archers and 2 units of Harlandon Guard. But that'll pretty much do it for his army comp, with the exception of, I think he has 1 unit of Wardens of Elas Tyrion, the body piercing Rangers, somewhere hidden around here. But yeah, we will see now the next Linden army, or at least part of it, which this one is going to be commanded by Engsfitz. These are the 3 units he's going to send over to the fortress, the checkpoint, sorry. He's got 1 unit of the Harlandon Guard, 1 unit of the Forlandon Marines, and 1 unit of the Noldorn Guard here. But the rest of his army, unfortunately, is hidden, but we will see that pretty shortly here. Without any further ado, we can go ahead into the replay itself. Not at 6 times speed, though, that might be good. But yeah, this game mode is extremely fun, so I really hope you guys do enjoy it. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of people playing it at the moment, which is kind of sad because a lot of work has been put into this, especially into the maps that have been created for the sole purpose of playing Conquest. There's actually an entire Conquest map pack that is maps made by, I think, a lot of people. I think there was even one made by List, if I'm not mistaken, but I know there were maps made by Sin of the Dark Cloud, J-Monster, and WK, so they worked really hard on this. So I hope you guys do decide to get that map pack and play some Conquest, because I can tell you, it is extremely fun. You can see the Series RT's forces coming out of hiding now a little bit, and Stern Tower marching out. And we'll see if any of the Linden forces have arrived. Looks like Belgast is marching forward with his archers, which is probably not the best idea, honestly, because J-Monster does have 3 units of very good Lancers. So, well, actually, I don't know if the Enlarger Sentinels might technically be Spear Cav. They are effective against armor off the charge, so that makes me think they're Lancers, but I've heard it said that they're actually Spear Cavalry, so I don't actually know. I'll have to test it out or something. But yeah, Belgast rushing forward with his archers here, kind of alone. Actually, no, not alone. He's sending forward his Marines as well, but not his actual infantry. Surprisingly enough, he's just moving forward with his skirmishers, which is honestly probably not the greatest idea because, like I said, J-Monster does have a lot of cavalry that could run down all of those skirmishers pretty easily. Because, like I said before, cavalry is extremely deadly in this game mode because of the small unit size. Yeah, over here, you can see J-Monster sending forward his troops to the checkpoint, and then he will pull them back later. He's got, you know, the Ladder Sentinels going over there, as well as his two units of Eldar Anway Heraquinga. I think the Sears RT already got his horse archers over there and is now pushing them to where he wants to go next. Yes, that does look like what he's doing. And over here, you can see that Fluffy Duck is moving forward with his pikes and his infantry over here to this canyon. Maybe I'm going to try to take up a defensive position here and make sure no Linden Elves make their way through this canyon. But actually, that looks to be exactly what Engsfitz is going to do. As you can see, he's got a couple units of Forlandon archers, he's got his Noldorn Horse Lords, who actually are at 14, so that must not be his general unit. He's got some Wardens of Harlandon, he's got his Harlandon infantry, he's got more Harlandon infantry as well as some Forlandon Marines and Mithlond Marines, some more Mithlond Marines. And he's got 3 units of pikes, the 2 Mithlond pikemen and Forlandon pikemen as well for his army. And I think he might also have a unit of Rangers, but I'm not totally positive. So it looks like Fluffy Duck is just going to meet him in that canyon, which is going to be an interesting fight, honestly. I'm kind of surprised by this play from Engsfitz, because if he goes into a canyon, it's really just compressing his forces into one little area. So if Fluffy Duck wanted to, he might even be able to split his forces and go all the way around and then try to surround him. But we should go over here because it looks like Belgast is rushing forward with his Marines now. He's actually going to get a nice javelin volley off into those Imladris Guardians, who, not being in loose formation, are going to take a lot of damage. However, the Imladris Sentinels and now the Noldorn Horse Lords going to be able to charge directly into the Mithlond Marines and do a nice job at flattening that unit. Not the best charge there, but still it was still definitely effective. Now his Guardians are going into the fight. Over here he's only got 25, so they may kind of struggle against the Mithlond Marines, but with the cavalry support, they will be able to win this fight very easily. But again, this is where it seems like a really interesting play by Belgast to rush forward with his archers and marines, because you can see the cavalry is just absolutely butchering all of his forces here, so it's not really a great trade. He's kind of just throwing away all 8 of these units, so really not the best play, honestly. And up here on the up here on the hill though, the Forlandon archers giving some support to Lord of Belgast, so he's not without any help at all. But I don't know if it'll be enough, especially with some Hiriak spearmen coming in to support the front line once more. And yeah, with these Marines, if they get charged once more, they're going to get absolutely flattened and they're not going to have a chance. looks like J-Monster's archers are also just up on these hills here. They're not going to be able to get attacked because of those stakes and this kind of like divot here. So they won't actually be able to get attacked from head on. But oh, back here, the Imladris Blade Master is taking a ton of skirmish fire from XXX's archers up on the hill there. You can see J-Monster trying to put them in loose formation. Well, they are in loose formation, sorry. But the loose formation not really helping a ton against the insane accuracy of the Linden Elves there, so it's not really going to help out. And over here you can see that the Northern Horse Lords and Imladris Sentinels are still just rushing into the archers as well as the Marines back here, I think. Because, yeah, these Marines are dead, so I assume that was due to a cavalry charge in the rear. However, now XXX does not have to worry about giving any friendly fire, so he's just going to go ahead and shoot right into the flanks of these Imladris Guardians there. And while they are heavily armored, that many arrows is definitely going to result in a lot of losses. Over here, though, looks like a good game of cat and mouse is really going on between Engsfitz and Fluffy Duck. You can see the mercenary cav trying to go after those Noldor Horse Lords. They're going to retreat because they don't want to die immediately. There are also some Minsk Rifflin archers here, as well as, yeah, here's all the pikes of Fluffy Duck. There's some more mercenary cav getting chased by Noldor Horse Lords. And every time I see the Noldor Horse, oh, they're actually going to get a nice charge off into these Minsk Rifflin archers. Not as damaging as I thought it would have been, but it is still definitely not a good thing for Fluffy Duck. However, he might be able to catch a few of them with his mercenary cav. Maybe not. Every time I see the Noldor Horse Lords run, it looks like it's their dual wielding, but it's just their lance actually. Ooh, Noldor Horse Lord's going to get a nice charge off back into these mercenary cavalrymen. And I don't think this unit by itself will be able to take out those Noldor Horse Lords. They were able to kill one, but you can see they're taking a lot of losses, not only from the Horse Lords, but also from archers now as well. We'll take a look back over here now, because things are progressing quickly over here as well. It looks like Imladris and Mirkwood are going to try to make their way up this hill, which is, to me, oh, geez, a chariot. XXX is actually very good with a chariot, I've noticed, after watching this, after seeing this replay and seeing other ones. He seems to be quite good with a chariot. But yeah, unfortunately, I tried this replay like so many times, and it just kept crashing over and over again. I have no idea why. Like, it would crash on the load, and then the one time I actually got it to work, I recorded it and everything, I went and looked, and the file corrupted. So, yeah, not good. But anyway, I think this one will hopefully work. Hopefully. But yeah, the chariot's going to pull back as they saw some more forces pushing up. He does not want to lose his chariot that quick. But honestly, this is a rather surprising move, I think, by the Sirius RT and J Monster. I don't think it'd be super wise to attack this position where XXX definitely holds the high ground here with his entire army, no less, and they've only got cavalry and archers here, so not really the best for an uphill assault to have 0 infantry, because I think most of J Monster's infantry is still just down here somewhere. But yeah, the cavalry though might still be able to cause a bit of damage. So the Imladris Sentinel is going to get a nice charge into the front of those Noldor Guard, not taking out a huge amount, but still doing an okay job. Just to get them out of there though. And over here, the Gwaith Rukdor going to go after some Harlandon Guard. However, there is some Harlandon infantry coming up as well as the Horse Lords, so he needs to be careful. This is his general's unit, or his general's bodyguard rather. He did get a nice charge off into the Harlandon Guard though. Not a bad charge at all. And here come the Wardens of Elos Tyrion as well, but now that they're in view, they may become a target for J Monster's cavalry. He is of course going to be good at micro because he's a very experienced player. There go the Harlandon infantry to a couple of charges from both the Gwaith Rukdor and the Imladris Sentinel. They're getting flattened pretty heavily. However, they still do have 33 men in the unit. Gwaith Rukdor taking losses now that the Noldor Horse Lords are in here, and honestly I think he should pull his Gwaith Rukdor out of this fight, because the Harlandon Guard are spear hybrids, and of course spearmen and cavalry do not generally mix well. But over here we can take a look. The Imladris Sentinels, those ones are down to 6. This unit over here down to 17. They did get an okay charge off into the Wardens of Elos Tyrion, but only killed about 4 actually, so not super great. And it looks like he is going to retreat with his 10 Gwaith Rukdor now. Going to pull maybe all the way down the hill actually, but he does need to be careful of his own stakes that would be very bad if he lost them. And again, you can see the archers not really being able to do much because they have to fire just like straight up, kind of, so they're not going to be able to cause a huge amount of damage. And oh, right here, oh no, the IRR Bran and Enanwaith getting charged by the Noldorn Horse Lords. Like I said, these guys are not knights, and they would generally do more okay, but because they got charged in the side and weren't even able to counter-charge, you can see they're just getting absolutely butchered. Elsewhere though, ooh, the Goethi Roktor getting dangerously close to those stakes, particularly my man Glorfindel right there, or at least I assume that's Glorfindel, I have no idea honestly. Looks like Mirkwood and J-Monster have had enough up here though, I think because those Enlarged Sentinels were taken out. They pretty much don't even have anything up here to help them out at all, so they are going to pull back now with what they have left. The Goethi Roktor are pushing up a little bit further up on the hill just to kind of provide some protection in case those Noldorn Horse Lords decide to come back and try to run down some more archers. They will be here to try to stop that. Oh no. Oh no, they seem to be going a little fast. Oh. Oh. No. No, my man. Oh man, that's actually real. Those 10 Goethi Roktor, that's still 75% of the men still alive in that unit because there were 15 originally. That is definitely a very unfortunate loss right there because even 10 of those Goethi Roktor could still cause obscene amounts of damage. Over here though, you can see the Eldar Enway Heracwinge trying to help out with the whole Noldorn Horse Lords back here who are now down to 8? Looks like, yes, 8. And the Mercenary Cav has taken a lot of losses, it looks like. That one down to 4, this one's still 25. And here we've got actually some Minsker Rithlin Sharpshooters as well as some Minsker Rithlin Archers firing down into Lindon's forces, and hopefully the crossbows will be able to fire at the Horse Lords because that would be a very, very nice thing. But over here, if you look back here, you can actually see, oh, Heroic Benamin Lank was taken out, but the 2 Horse Archers of Mirkwood are back here, and there are not only Horse Archers, but look at this, some really, really nice teamwork here by the Sirius RT and Fluffy Duck, because you can see Mirkwood has actually managed to get his entire force that was over by the checkpoint around this canyon, and they're now going to be able to work together to surround Engsvitz here. And again, this is what can sometimes happen if you are not careful when you go into a canyon, because when you're in a canyon, it really just compresses your forces that much smaller, so it is much easier to get surrounded, especially because there's only going to ever be 2 ways out most of the time if you're in a, well, in specifics, I guess, in specific canyons there are only 2 ways out. Yeah, but yeah, over here it looks like the Wardens of Harlandon suffering some pretty good, or some pretty deadly skirmish fire. Horse Lords are now down to 6. Yeah, Engsvitz is actually now surrounded. Not going to like his position at all. He's going to try to maybe pull back with some pikes. Doesn't quite know what he's doing actually. Minsker Rithlin Sharpshooters though, their heavy armor should protect them for the most part from a lot of those elven arrows. So they're going to push forward and try to cause some damage. But ooh, actually yeah, Engsvitz is retreating with a lot of his forces maybe. No, maybe not retreating, just kind of pushing forward. I don't know, but over here, the fight is once again beginning. This is going to be the last of Belgost's forces, that being his 2 units of Noldorn Guard, his 3 units of Niflheim Swordmasters, as well as his Wardens of Elastirion back there. And because J-Monster no longer has his Goethi Roktor, I think this one will... Ooh, I don't know. It's going to be really tough because, I mean, he still has his 4 lower tier archers over here. But again, the heavy armor of these Noldorn Guard, you can see that the Enlarged Blade Masters and the Enlarged Guardians just really don't have the numbers to really hold back this assault for very long, I don't think. And here come the Noldorn Horse Lords from Belgost as well, completely healthy. So yeah, without those Goethi Roktor, I don't think J-Monster is going to be able to hold on to this position for too much longer. However, he is still going to be able to cause a pretty decent amount of damage. You can see both the Nortina Warriors and the Forlondon Archers are targeting this blobber here, so a lot of arrow fire going into this area. I think there might be the one Goethi Roktor in here trying to, yeah, chase down the Noldorn Horse Lord. Looks like one actually was killed. Yeah, here come the Mithlond Pikemen as well. That would also be a pretty good target, I think, for the archers. But I think he is also trying to maybe skirmish down, yeah, the Wardens of Elastirion. because their BP arrows are so damaging. He is going to try to skirmish them down a little bit, and because they're rangers, they are pretty weak to missile fire. But over here, you can see Engsfitz is taking a lot of losses to the Mirkwood arrows as well as to the crossbows of Cardolan. Mirkwood doesn't have a ton of forces over here, so he is going to pull back a little bit. He doesn't really have the numbers to deal with the full weight of Engsfitz's army, so he is going to have to wait for Cardolan to push up, I believe, in order to actually begin attacking him. And it looks like Fluffy Duck is kind of just waiting here for a little bit. The sharpshooter is taking a lot of losses to the arrows. Actually, some Harlandon infantry came over here as well. Very interesting. But yeah, over here is where the fight is still continuing. You can see that, yeah, without those horse lords and also with the constant skirmishing fire, it looks like J-Monster was unable to hold on to his position. He's still got his archers, but they really won't be able to help out, especially now that X is sending down some infantry to completely surround what is left to J-Monster. So, just like that, most of J-Monster's army is gone, with the exception of his two very expensive but quite elite units of the Elder and the Heraquinga. But yeah, just very unfortunate, I think, that he lost his Gwathi Roktor, but he definitely did do good. I mean, when Belagast sent forward those 8 units unsupported, he did a very excellent job at taking those guys out because, again, they were completely unsupported. Probably not the greatest play by Belagast there, but still, it had potential. It had potential. With those javelins, he definitely had potential to cause a lot of damage. Yeah, Engsfitz over here, even though he is surrounded, he's going to try to get his back up to a wall. He does not want to get attacked from both sides. He'd rather get attacked from just one. You can see that as he's moving around, even though all of his troops are in loose formation, the accuracy of Mirkwood is really doing a lot of damage to his forces. You can see these elves just dropping left and right. That is, of course, because Linden is not particularly well armored. So they will generally take quite a lot of losses to arrows. And yes, Cardolan is on its way, as you can see, with a lot of cavalry, as well as infantry, and a ton of archers as well, because most of the Cardolan infantry, with the exception maybe of the pikes, is not going to generally do well against the Elven infantry, just because of their high skill and overall just better stats. But if they're able to back them into a corner like this and just skirmish them to death, that would probably be the least costly, I think, in terms of actual numbers. Royal Court of House Thorondor are going to get an okay-ish charge into those Harlandon infantry, and then going to go straight into the back here of the Wardens of Elos Tyrion. Going to get a nice charge there and just absolutely flatten that unit. Ooh, cavalry, especially Lancers, are extremely good in this game mode. You're going to see these 36 Mithlon Marines. Ooh, 36 down to only 4. Oof. That is not good for Engsfitz. Those guys were wiped without doing any damage whatsoever. Over here, though, the Mithlon Marines as well as the Harlandon infantry doing a good job at taking out the Hiriek spearmen. A cavalry charge from the rear is going to be enough to even this fight a little bit more. Orlandon Marines and Mithlon Marines trying to do their bit by throwing javelins into the Tharbad Riders, who are going to, in return, charge them head-on with their AP lances. In the Royal Court of House Thorondor as well. But after getting a charge off into the Orlandon Marines, you oftentimes would just want to retreat with your cavalry, because these guys are, of course, spear hybrids, so if you stay in melee with them for long enough, they will make you pay for it. Here comes some Mithlon pikemen as well, so you gotta be careful of that. Three Wardens of Elos Tyrion left over, going to try to cause whatever damage they can.
Our ally lies dead, slain by the enemy. We must help his men avenge him.
And what was that? What? Oh, I forgot. The Sirius RT's general was back with J-Monster. Look how you... Yeah, and his Therny Tower. His 2 units of Therny Tower? Maybe just 1 unit of Therny Tower? 15... Yeah, maybe just 1. But yeah, look, these Ire Argue Nenwe. The unit that costs 1,300 florins. And I'm only 7 men, and the general dead for Mirkwood. It is very unfortunate, getting chased down by the Noldorn Horse Lords of Belagast, as well as the Chariot of XXX. So again, good team by the Linden players there to try to run down Mirkwood, who just didn't have anything to really stop that. However, J-Monster is over here with his students of Elder and Heraquinga, and as you can see, they're making these Noldorn Horse Lords pay for crossing this bridge here. There are now only 6 of them remaining. Yeah, every time I think they're dual wielding, but it's just their lance. And now the Noldorn Horse Lord's down to only 4 after taking 2 more volleys from the Elder Enemy Heracunga. But even still, going to be able to do a pretty decent amount of damage to these foot archers of J-Monster here. Ooh. Yeah, man, those Horse Lords are super elite, and against archers in melee, they will still be relatively well. But he's going to pull them back now and maybe try to help out Engsfitz, who over here, you see Engsfitz is really not doing too well. After being completely surrounded, he's just getting skirmished to death. The cavalry is being a huge nuisance as well. And he's just having a really, really difficult time over here. And it looks like he's just about done for. He's got these 22 Marines, but for the most part, that looks like about it. His Forlondon archers are dead. He's still got 6 pikemen over here fighting against the 19 Hiriak, as well as some Harlandon infantry. But he even still is not out of the fight. He still actually has his 3 units that he had sent over to his checkpoint around. I think those are some Harlandon Guard and some Noldorn Guard. I think he sent his Forlondon Marines back to his front line. But over here is where the Horse Lords are. Belagost's Horse Lords. I don't see them though. Interesting. Yeah, the Royal Court still at at 11, and the Tharbad Riders are at 12. Where are those Horse Lords? Mercenary Cav going back to the checkpoint here, maybe to try to scare off those Horse Lords that are somewhere around here. I mean, I can see the star, but oh, okay, no, they're back here. Okay, whatever. Okay, I'm sorry, they're here. Yeah, anyway, we can take a look over here and see Engsfitz's last stand. It looks like we might have missed it already because, like I said, all he had left were these Marines pretty much. Who are routing, actually. But yeah, XXX is pulling off this mountain here. Belagost as well is taking his forces that he has left over from fighting J-Monster now across this river. And he is going to, well, they are going to set up to try to attack the checkpoint of Team 1 and try to take it. But Cardolan is still pretty healthy, honestly. Mirkwood has used a lot of their ammo, but their archers are still also healthy. Oh, and actually a nice charge into the Minas Girthland sharpshooters by those 4 Noldorn Horse Lords of Belagost there. And after Belagost's Horse Lords stop charging into these units here, is actually where the battle gets a little bit slower, but I mean it's not too terribly slow, so I think I'll just put it up to like 6 times speed for a couple of minutes, and then we'll just resume it, I think. But yeah, so the sharpshooters actually took a pretty nasty charge there, again proving that even only 4 of these knights can still cause an obscene amount of damage. Fluffy Duck gonna try to mobilize some pikemen to stop them from charging, but it looks like Belagost wants to go after these pikemen. Yes, in fact he is. Gonna kill 1, but he needs to get out of melee with them. Engsfitz still has 5 Forlondon archers here, gonna try to cause their little bit of damage as well. Yeah, for the most part now... oh, pardon me. I was sick very recently, just like the other days when I finally started doing a little bit better. So if my voice sounds a little odd or if I cough again like that, I do apologize. But yeah, for the most part now, what's going to be going on is Lyndon and Lyndon is going to be slowly making its way over here to the checkpoint. Then Cardolan, J-Monster, and Cardolan, Imladris, and Mirkwood are going to be setting up their defense really. Because yeah, J-Monster still has his 2 units of archers back there. They have fired a lot of arrows, so they're probably not looking super great in terms of ammo. But these guys are also pretty fair, honestly, in melee. That's because of their cost. Their overall cost is like just above 1,000, maybe right at 1,000. So they're definitely not bad in melee. Also, of course, they've got but of course their main selling point is their bows. They have insane range and insane accuracy. But yeah, for the most part, it looks like they're just going to be reforming their lines now, so I will go ahead and speed it up. I don't think I'll make a cut, I'll just probably speed it up, because it doesn't really take that long. Yeah, the Lord Horse Lords going after the Greenwatch Garrison Footmen, and because Fluffy Duck actually isn't really paying much, or isn't really noticing this, Belagost will be allowed to do this, honestly. Oh, but Actually, I take it back. Fluffy Duck definitely paying attention there. Able to cut down 2 of those Horse Lords, and I think Belagast might have had enough of that for now. Oh no, he's going to charge into the back of these IR Arthalian Nanwave. Going to take 1 out. But it looks like that might be it from Belagast for his Horse Lords, at least for now. Yeah, for the cheap pikes like this, you can generally stand to rear charge them in the back with cavalry as long as you pull them out instantaneously, and also you have to be very careful. If the player knows you're going to rear charge them, they will tend to wait for a really long time and then turn them around right as you charge into them, and to make you pay horrendously for thinking you can charge into pikes head on. But yeah, you can see elsewhere that Cardolin is just going to be setting up his archers as well as his infantry just all around. They're going to put his archers on the hills here so that they can't get attacked, so they can fire for as long as possible. He's also going to set up his pikes in nice battle lines as well. You can see Mirkwood actually has a lot of his forces just hidden in the forest here, which is actually good because not only can he ambush the enemies, but also it means since they're hidden, they actually can't get targeted by archers or javelins quite yet. Our bad riders still 12, and I think the Royal Court is still at 11, but actually the Royal Court might actually be back here trying to harass some of the enemies. Maybe not quite yet. Forland Marines of Engsfits over here. And actually, yes, I was correct. Gandalf leading the charge right there into the Forland Marines, going to get a nice amount of damage, but again, those are spear hybrids, so you need to be careful. They tried to throw their javelins, but were unable to do so. Yeah, Belagast is now over here with his few remaining forces. But still, he does have these pikes, and those are definitely going to be very good at dealing with a lot of the remaining forces on the Team 1. But he needs to be careful of not getting skirmished down, because there are still a lot of skirmishers on Team 1. Oh, and the Chariot actually of XXX getting chased down by the Royal Court, who was going to charge at the Marines, but is instead going to go after Belagast's. Yes, that's a very good target. Going after Belagast's Wardens of Alastair, just going to try to deal with these body-piercing rangers now, rather than later with your own arrows. Just going to try to charge them down with his cavalry is not a bad idea. Over here, I think is where Engsfits has most of his remaining forces. Oh, here's some post archers as well, Reading. But yeah, Engsfits has got his completely healthy Noldorn Guard, as well as his completely healthy Harlandon Guard. And it looks like XXX has some archers back here as well. So there are still forces over here, but for the most part, Lyndon is going to be attacking from here with Belagast, and then also from over here, I think, is where most of XXX's forces will be setting up. You can actually see his Forlandon scouts over here now. These guys were at the checkpoint, and they can hide anywhere, which is why they just went invisible. He's still got his Noldorn Guard, his Harlandon infantry, and he's got some more forces on the way, I believe. Maybe not. No. Royal Court of House the Rondor, making Belagast, or well, forcing Belagast rather to kind of make this kind of like circle or half circle formation here to just protect his lines from those very deadly 2 HP Lancers. I don't think they're quite knights, but they still do have 2 HP and are AP off the charge because they're Lancers. And yeah, up on the hill, yeah, we'll just take a quick look at the defense. Lots of archers up here on the hills, of course. We got pikes defending the hills. We've also got some crossbows up here as well. Crossbows actually might be rushing forward, which honestly, rushing forward to try to skirmish down Belagast would not be a bad idea at all, and I really hope they do it, because if they could really stand to do it, mainly because Belagast has no archers besides these, what, 7 Wardens of Elastirion? And most of his army, well, the biggest part of his army are these pikes here. So if you rush forward with your crossbows or even your archers and try to skirmish him down, you would definitely be able to take him out very quickly and relatively easily. Especially because XXX is not quite ready to move forward just yet. You can see he is just now kind of getting in line. So if they did it quick enough, they would be able to actually completely take out Belagast, I would think, as long as they hurried. They'd be able to take out most of his forces right away with just by skirmishing them down. You can see that Fluffy Duck is going to do this actually. He's going to put them up behind these stakes here, and then begin mercilessly crossbowing these Mifflin pikes here. Very good call there by Fluffy Duck. He's actually going to skirmish down some of those Wardens of Elves as well. Actually, that might be someone else, because those don't look like... I don't know who it is. Maybe it is crossbows. Didn't look like it. I was like, wait, what? That's the... Like... Oh, it's J-Monster. That's who it is. Okay, yeah. J-Monster is going to be skirmishing down those body-piercing Rangers. Try to deal with that threat now, because even 7 could still do a pretty good amount of damage. Yeah, I'll go put it back to normal speed now, because this is where things do begin to heat up once more. Because you can see Belagast doesn't want to just sit here and get skirmished to death. And he does know that he won't be able to get any support from XXX quite away because of how far behind X is. But he does not want to just sit back here and get skirmished to death, so he's going to decide rather to just go ahead and attack the very well defended lines of the checkpoint right now. And again, I think that's a fine idea, because it's probably, it's probably what I would do. It's basically the best thing you could do in this situation, other than just like completely running away. Because you were just, it's never fun to kind of just have to sit there and watch your forces die by skirmishing, and you can't even do anything about it. So he's instead just going to rush for it here, and probably get beat in melee, just because he does not really have the numbers or the quality to deal with these defenders. And like I said, he doesn't have the support from XXX either. So he's just going to have to do his best here. Going to use his Noldoran Guard to charge. Oh, I hope he doesn't charge into the air deer time on rank. Yeah, he's going to go into the air deer time on rank. Which is rather unfortunate, because this is Linden's like one heavily armored unit, and this is this is one of Mirkwood's singular AP units. So yeah, those Noldoran Guard just got instantly wrecked. Be over here. Mython Swordmaster is just going to instantaneously break, it looks like, without even doing any damage. That will pretty much be the end of Belagast, because I think his 4 swords went somewhere else. And unfortunately, you did see an admit defeat right there, but that was actually not from Belagast, I don't think. I believe that was actually from Angsfitz, which I think is actually really unfortunate, because he still had his completely healthy unit of Noldoran Guard, as well as his completely healthy Harlandon Guard there. And I think they would have helped over here, definitely, with XXX, because now X is going to pretty much just have to attack this whole place by himself, which you can see that he is now doing. He's got his own healthy Noldoran Guard as well as his not-so-healthy ones, getting a very nice charge off, getting a very nice charge from the Noldoran Guard there, or from the Royal Court of House the Longbow, my bad. Words are... The Noldoran Guard not wanting to get surrounded quite yet, so they're going to pull back a little bit, and then they will about face. Maybe not, actually. Maybe they want to go after... I don't know what they're doing. They're running away. Oh, maybe they just want to go after the archers over here. Yeah, maybe... Yeah, that might be what they're doing. But they might also just get charged by these Arbite Raiders, so that's not a good thing either. But yeah, over here, I'm actually going to see another nice line battle. We have not actually seen one of these since the fight over by J-Monster's side. We actually got to see 2 line battles over there, and now we're going to get to see a third. Because the Angsfitz, well, I guess there was a little bit of melee fighting over with Angsfitz, but for the most part, I think he's mainly just getting skirmished to death. But yeah, you can see the Harlandon Infantry and the Noldoran Guard supporting each other here in this fight against the Airdeer Themonlank. The Hiri Pang, there's also some Thurny Tower in there. But where's the... Yeah, the Noldoran Guard over here. Ooh. Oh, actually, the Forlandon Scouts got a nice charge off into the Rangers of Mirkwood. Oh, but unfortunately they're gonna go straight into those Greenwatch Garrison pikemen. Here comes XXX's archers. I think that was Belagast admitting defeat. As well as the Rangers here, and like I said, the Wardens of Elves are extremely good in melee. However, they're going to take a brutal charge from those cavalrymen. But oh, here come the chariots running that poor horse over. Oh my. Oh jeez. That poor horse just got flattened by a chariot. I'm sorry, dude. But yeah, XXX gonna try to just cause as much havoc with his chariot as possible. Mainly the key to playing well with the chariot is just constantly to keep moving, just constantly running amok in your enemy's back lines. It does particularly well, I've noticed, that dealing with archers. If you run them around, even in archers that are in loose formation, they will still do an excellent job at running through. Greenwich Garrison Footmen over here going to help out Mirkwood, as well as there's actually the Elder Enway Heraquinga of J-Monster over here to help out, because you can see the Airdeer Themonlank have taken a lot of losses because of these Mythlong Marines back here who were just tossing their javelins directly into those poor two-handed axemen. Over here, the Noldoran Guard don't really have the range to deal with the Green Watch Garrison footmen, so they are dying pretty quickly. And the Harlandon Guard over here just don't really have the numbers, it looks like, to cause a lot of damage with their bows, because they're just getting absolutely targeted down by a lot of different archers. Over here the chariots still running around, and here comes some elite pikes as well as, yeah, the Minotaur and the Guardians are making their way over here as well. And these guys are extremely deadly crossbows, and they actually are technically halberds, so they are pretty difficult to run down with normal cavalry. Gordon's Velas Tyrion doing a nice job at cutting down those Minister Rifflin swords, despite being rather outnumbered. They're of course being given support by the chariot, now by some Harlandon Guard. But X is going to pull away with his chariot as the pikes now approach. But he is going to be able to go straight into these Minotaur Roman Guardians. You can see they're at 51 currently, but oh, look at them just getting run over by the chariots, man. Chariots are really tricky to use at times, but if you can use them well, then they're extremely, extremely deadly. You can see it took out about 17 of those Minotaur Roman Guardians there. And over here, looks like Lyndon is actually not doing too horribly. It looks like they were able to take out most of Mirkwood. You can see there's only 10 Hiri Pang and a few Thurny Tower here and there, but it was mainly these Green Watch Garrison pikes as well as J Monster's archers in here that looks like are going to be able to deal with what's left of Lyndon. Actually, Minister Rifflin's swords getting beat back by those Mithlond Marines there, who are now going to be freed to go into this front line. Yeah, the Elder Anyway Herakunga, pretty good in melee, not bad at all, so they should be able to hold their own with their little tiny swords. Oh, so cute. But yeah, over here, I think, yeah, it looks like the chariots were taken out, probably either by crossbow fire or by the pikes. Mercenary Cav is back here. They try to charge around. They are melee Cav, so their charging is going to be super deadly. But for the most part, it looks like the attack of Lyndon is going to fall flat here. And it looks like Team 1 will be victorious, but actually it was not by taking the other checkpoint, it was by destroying the entire enemy team. So that does just go to show that there are two ways to win. Now, I'll definitely be trying to get some more replays of Conquest out, but it's just like I said, unfortunately not a lot of people are maybe don't know about it, or maybe just don't want to play it, I guess. I'm not really sure, but I really want to play more of it because it is extremely, extremely fun, and I encourage you guys greatly to try it out for yourselves because you will not be disappointed. It is super, super fun to play, and it's just really different from the usual thing in Reforged, so that's also nice. A little bit of change, I think, is always nice. And yeah, there go the last of XXX's forces. That'll pretty much be the end of this replay, so I'll go ahead and speed up the last 100 frames or so. Oh, actually not 100 frames.
This is a clear victory.
Not bad. But yeah, that will pretty much be the end of this one, so I hope you guys did enjoy. Big thank you again to J Monster for sending me this replay. Of course, the link to his channel will be down in the description below with all the other links. And I hope you guys did watch that Conquest Rules video that will also be in the description below as well. But yeah, so despite the 800-man limit per army, you can see that both J Monster and the Sirius RT only brought about 500 men. J Monster getting the most kills with 789, and then the most kills for the other team went to XXX with 556. Take a quick look at his exact kills. Gwaethi Roktor getting 139, and one unit of Mitre Sentinels getting 119, and that is really insane on small unit settings because, if you think about it, because he was facing elves with like 40 to 50 men per unit, that's about 3 entire units right there getting taken out by the Gwaethi Roktor, which is actually really, really nice, and it just makes it more sad that there were actually still 10 of them left alive, but then he accidentally staked them. That was still so sad, no. But yeah, anyway, a very good battle. Big thank you again to J Monster for sending it to me, and to all the players involved for playing it. So that'll pretty much be the end of this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you did. If you did not, just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it for the next video. So farewell wherever you fare, till your eyes eager at your journey's end.